Your host, Julian Leahy. And today I've got a guest on that's going to give us some, I like little kind of tips and hacks about using social media in a more effective way that we often don't know about. You can pick up lots of little good tips. My next guest, Andrew Schmidt, is a high ticket sales and marketing advisor for online coaches specializing in organic Facebook reach, efficiency, and a health nut, comedy enthusiast, and creator of the Microgroup formula. Welcome to the show, Andrew Schmidt.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Awesome. Now, you've developed a strategy around Facebook, and there's lots of stuff inside of Facebook. It's still a very powerful tool, and it's been around for a while, and you can do ads, but there is a lot you can do with organic reach. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with creating events and micro groups. So, do you want to tell us what a micro group is and why we should be making them?
Sure. So, a micro group is the fastest way that I know of to build up KLT in the shortest amount of time. So, if you are live with
Did you just say KLT as in know, like, and trust?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. I always say that, and I have never heard anyone else say KLT before, but it's probably.
Oh man, I always have to catch myself. Yeah. Okay, that means know, like, and trust. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, and know, like, and trust is kind of like really your main goal when you are doing stuff online, and so you've got to be coming up with ways to really build that relationship with people, and I mean, there's a few ways of doing it. So, what is the process? Do you want to just briefly go over the process? And obviously, you have an event that you're going to be going through this in more depth. But just give us a little bit of an insight so that people can understand. Oh yeah, that's a different way of doing it. That sounds like it might work. I want to learn more about this.
Yeah. So you want me just to describe the event so that people can understand? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, just give us a little bit of a teaser about the process. That there is some power in it, and just so people can get a bit of an idea of what we don't really know what it is yet.
Right. So going back to the KLT thing, that's I agree with what you're saying. Trust equals sales. If people don't trust you, then they aren't gonna first they have to trust you with their time, and then they gradually trust you up until the point where they pay you lots of money, ideally. So the process is there's a 3-part process. There's the first part, which is the hype phase, and that's building up excitement, showing up proof about what you are teaching. So, for example, it would be all your case studies if you're a life coach, and the second part would be
let's stay on the first part for a bit. And what do we do to create that hype and get the buzz happening? Let's go through what's involved there, because that's kind of a key part of it.
Yeah, that is. You can also, depending on your level of rapport with the audience, skip and take several steps. I mean, in the hype phase, in the actual event process, there's like the admin stuff that you need to go to. There's the testimonials that I was saying earlier, maybe case studies that you have. The main thing that you're trying to get across is this is something important that you should pay attention to, and for the rest of the event. There's without going into specific, because I will go in greater detail in the event on how exactly all the hype phase and the content phase and the selling phase goes down, which are the 3
Would you
phases.
say curiosity is a big part of this first phase?
Yeah, well, curiosity is actually generated even before with the marketing phase. So they go to the event already wanting something. So let me take a step back here. The first step of the organic microgroup formula is research. So market research. You know everything about them in detail. Their wants, their desires, their fears, whatever. That's how you make the marketing campaign, which is step 2. Step two is just basically telling people, hey, I have this really desirable thing that you want to go to because you've done the market research, and so they are already hyped to go to the event.
I get it. So, and you are doing that first of all with a Facebook event, and that's where the people are filing into, and then you're going to put them into a group, and you've created that group specifically for the event. So they're small groups, micro groups.
Yeah. It's a micro group because it's not like a typical Facebook group where you need to grow it for several years in order to get a client base. It's just for a couple days, as long as you want to, as long as you hit the main points of the organic micro group formula. As long as you, yeah.
Awesome. And when you've got people in your event, Facebook event, just say you've got 100 people in there, every time you can contact those people inside the event, and will they receive every message, or is there any limitation on reach?
You can be as personal in the actual event as you want. Ideally, you want to keep the number low because the whole process is based on building up KLT. So you want to make your communication very intentional, very personalized. You can send them messages. You can at them, get their names when you do the video to make sure that they actually watch it. There's a lot of functionality with Facebook groups, which is probably why it's generated so much.
Yeah. And what's the next step in the process after building up the hype?
The next step, phase 2, is the content phase. So literally all coaches have to do is condense what they already know, their program, into 3, 4, 5 days, or maybe one if they're new or something. It's just condensing it into the material that the attendees want to know.
Yeah, so they're going to put the content down and in a way that they're going to deliver it. And do people mostly do it with like a course format or an LMS, or are people doing live, streaming the content?
You, in order to build KLT, I recommend that you go live because you can answer questions. You can talk to them and say, this is how you're going to do it. They can see themselves actually in your process as a coach. But you can, once later you've honed your process, you can record them and post them on there. It really only takes about a few hours to run the whole event if you do that. But if you're live and if you want to be close with your audience, then
yeah, live's always better. And the other thing you could do with, you do the live stream, and then you can package that up and cut that up into lessons and create a course out of it, as long as you're not rambling too much. And you probably have to edit it, but you can just you do the lives and then create a course which is going to be evergreen content. And what's step 3, Andrew?
Step 3 is the selling process. And that is just literally saying, hey, you should have established the need during the whole event for your specific service or product or whatever. So it's made up of a few components. There's just the naked pitch. There's the bonuses. There's testimonials. Like you can have a client, if you want to, live with you, say, hey, this is how much the process has helped me. Things like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I like this idea. This is a what do you call actionable? It's actionable tip, and I'm gonna check out the organic group formula. And so if you do want to do that, if you want to learn this technique, which, hey, look, you should always be learning, and there's a lot you could do on Facebook still, and go to organic microgroup formula and get in there, and let's have a look and see what Andrew's got coming up. I'm going to sign up for it, and I'm going to be at the next. When are you going to go live with it?
July 5th. So if people are interested and want to sign up, I'm not letting everybody sign up because there's a specific process that I'm going to have everybody go through. But
you've got to create a bit of scarcity. Sorry? Create a bit of scarcity. Yeah. Can't have everyone.
I go over specifically why, because I'm not new to the internet marketing space. I know that there's some people out there and I've been taken advantage of. I need to make sure that the people, because like the techniques that I'm teaching is influence and persuasion, and it can be misused, and that's just one of the reasons why I'm like very okay. You gotta, like, I need to make sure that you're not going to misuse this. But the other reason is that I want to make sure that the attendees actually get like a good experience. I can't spread myself thin with 50 attendees. I want to make sure that the event actually hits hard and actually makes a difference in your business.
Awesome. And how many of these have you done? Is this the first one?
This is the very first one. I've just made the organic microgroup formula. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, July 5. I'm gonna sign up, and I'm gonna hopefully be there at that one because I like learning stuff like that about Facebook, especially. Thanks for coming on, Andrew. I'm gonna wrap that up, but we've got some good info there and an interesting event, which I reckon a few people might want to sign up for. Thanks for coming on, Andrew.
Thanks for having me. It's fun.
No worries. Thanks for listening and watching. I'll see you very soon on another.